Welcome back to the channel. Back working on the Yamaha G1 golf cart. Got some parts in for it. I've got a top end rebuild kit, as well as clutches. So I've got the front clutch, rear new belt, and in this box here on the other side, I've got the complete top end. So basically what I'm going to do with this is strip it completely down. I'm going to get the top completely off of it, pull the front off of it. I'm going to repaint both pieces, completely rebuild the top end. I've got new revalves, crank seals. I'm trying to think what else, like I said, and clutches to put on this. Also got new tires to put on here because these back ones are pretty rough. So I'm going to get all 4 tires swapped out, as well as wheels. So it was cheaper, or basically not too much different to buy a complete wheel and rim that's ready to go versus redoing these plus putting the tires on, all that good stuff. Should be able to just bolt these right on. So should save me some time and be pretty close to the same cost. So right now I'm going to start pulling everything off the cart. At least try to get the top off, the seats off now, and get this back section pulled off so I can sand it all out, get it prepped for paint. One thing I still need to locate or figure out is the club rack, or the deal back here in the back to hold the bags. So that'll be something I'll work on as I'm getting this thing all ready. See if I can come up with one or what I need to do. Yeah, new fuel pump. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I got quite a few parts coming for it. So hopefully when it's said and done, this thing will be basically like new, or hopefully it'll run like new. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this, and I will kind of cut back as I'm pulling stuff off of it and show you guys how it's coming along. I'm probably not going to set the camera up and record the whole process because no one, I'm sure, really cares to see. It's pretty simple. Like the top, you got 4 bolts here. It's off. Seats, you guys saw me put those on, so they each are 4 bolts. They'll come out really easy, and I think for the most part, you got some brackets here on the back. I think there's like maybe 6 bolts here on the back, and the whole rear piece here should just pull off. The front, I'll have to look at a little closer, but I don't think there's a whole lot. You got a couple up here in the cup holder, or in the little cubbies that you got to pull off, and I think there's a few down here on the bottom part to pull off. So yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to get this thing pulled apart and pulled down to basically a frame, so I can get all this painted and cleaned up. I think I'm going to actually, I think I have some leftover paint from when I painted a couple bikes, so most likely it's gonna be like a metallic silver, I think, right now. I gotta see what I have for paint. If not, I'll figure something out for the color. But yeah, it's where I'm at. So I'm gonna go ahead and start stripping this thing down, and I'll probably set the camera up when I start rebuilding the engine, or the top end. It's gonna be new piston, cylinder, gaskets, everything basically on the top end side of it, everything from the crank up. Basically I'm gonna rebuild. Like I said, I'm gonna put new seals in it as well. I think that's probably honestly the issue with this cart right now, because I rebuilt the carb. Still doesn't run quite right, but I think it's a vacuum, because it's a vacuum ran system, and then when you kick the fuel pump on, it's flooding it. So I think it's a seal issue, because it's once you get it revved up, she runs okay when and again, the vacuum will be increased when she's running at higher RPMs than when you're just trying to get it to start up and idle. So I think it's a vacuum issue. It looks like it might be leaking a little oil down around the crank seal. So I think the seals are out on it. It's probably the only issue, but it only had 100 pounds compression. So might as well, if I'm gonna be pulling it down this far, I might as well do it all and make it like new. So we'll get this top pulled off, and I will cut back. All right, so I've got the back piece off, the rear shell here. I end up leaving all the bracketry inside it. I'll pull that off later. Basically all I did was pull the rear hinge pins here, and then the ones here on each side. They're pretty simple to get that off. You basically cut these pins down the bottom with these little clips, and then these on the top side. So pretty simple to pull off. just pulled it out of the way. Right now I'm yanking the springs off the exhaust so I can roll the spring back. I've got the coil pulled off and laid over there, the exhaust vacuum hose there, and the little governor linkage there on the side. So I'm going to continue, see if I can roll this exhaust forward, get it disconnected, then get the belts pulled off. And then I think it's kind of hard to tell what's down in here as far as bolts that hold this engine in, but gonna kind of see what's there. I've also got the manual. I'm probably gonna open it up now, just kind of see what all I need to pull loose to lift the motor out and what exactly it says or how to go about it. So gonna get that, see if I can get the motor pulled loose. Be a lot easier to work on because I got to put, like I said, clutch on it and all that good stuff. So we'll cut back here in just a moment. I'll kind of tell you guys or show you maybe even on the manual what it instructs or how it tells you to pull all this loose. So cut back here in just a second. All right guys, so following the manual, basically says first to disconnect the battery, the negative muffler. So you got these two springs here, another one here, undo both of those. These two bolts that hold the clamp on, pull that off, muffler comes right out of the way. Next, carburetor, pull the carburetor, your oil line, fuel line, intake here, this clamp here on your intake boot, get all that out of the way, disconnect the fuel line, the throttle here. So we've got all that off. Like I said, basically I'm just following along. You guys can see. Also the drive belt, that's pretty simple. You just lift up, rotate it, comes right off. Muffler, choke wire, I did pull that off while I was pulling the carb. Here's the carburetor, all that good stuff. So all that is off. So now we got to remove the engine bracket tensioner wire end. So that'll be the next step. Basically I'm just following down through here. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot. Yeah, kind of looks like that's about it as far as getting this motor out. So doesn't look like there's a whole lot, honestly, to get this pulled loose. So I'm going to finish these last few steps right here, and we'll see. Should be close to pulling this engine out. And then, like I said, I'm going to rebuild the top end, seals, all that good stuff. Put the new rear drive on, get the motor rebuilt, put it back in. So I'm going to continue on with this, see if I can get this pulled out. Like I said, doesn't look like there's a whole lot left. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so I've got the motor pulled. Pretty straightforward. You got your 4 wires that go to the starter. You're gonna pull those, your positive, and then your I think it's like A1, A2, A3 or something like that's how they're labeled. I did have an issue on one of mine, that front one up there. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that one there, you guys can see where it's shining. It actually broke off in the starter, so I'll have to fix that, figure out what I'm gonna do there. Get that taken care of, and then you got your 4 motor mounts here in the front and 2 in the back. Pretty straightforward as well. I do need to get this capped. Leaking oil everywhere, so I need to find a screw or something to shove in the end of that. But yeah, it's motor's out, pretty simple to get it out. It does come out with the starter, so this is kind of what it looks like. I'll have to pull the fan shroud off. Again, like I said, I'm putting reed valves. I'm going to do the fuel pump here on the cart, pull that out, the electric one down there out, replace this one, and we'll see on the oil pump. Not 100% sure what's going on with it. It did not seem to be pumping oil, so I need to find out for sure what's going on with that assembly. You guys can see how nasty that all is down in there, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with it. Not real sure why I'm missing that hose right in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, not real sure what's going on with the oil pump. I know, like I said, that one I pulled off up here, it's leaking everywhere, goes down there, but it does look like it's been leaking for a good minute. So like I said, I need to get this thing plugged real quick. So let me get that plugged and we'll cut back. All right, so I got that plugged off over there so it's not leaking anymore. But you guys can see how nasty it is down around there. It's kind of one of the reasons I thought maybe the crank seal might be out on it, but I'm not sure. I may have something going on with this oil pump assembly as well. So I think I'm probably going to delete this. The clutch that I ended up getting doesn't have the little gear in here. Originally I was going to try to save this back piece, but we'll see. Again, not real sure if this front one's working correctly or not. It does kind of make some noise, so that could be maybe even coming from the oil pump. The gears maybe are messed up. Like I said, I couldn't get it to really act like it was pumping oil. And again, this one is not, I don't believe is vacuum ran. I know something with the exhaust does something down here too as well, but I'm not 100% sure how this whole system works. So I need to look that up and kind of see what everything's doing here. But motor's pretty simple to get out. So now that it's out of the cart, like I said, I got to figure out that starter right there. You guys can see that bolt where it broke off. So I'll have to get that figured out, whether I need to get a new starter or what I'm going to do there. And yeah, we'll be ready to basically rebuild this. So probably gonna leave this just one video pulling the motor. Again, I didn't set the camera up. More just, man, it's hard to see whenever you're pulling this stuff off and you got the camera set up, you're walking in front of it, you're blocking it, that type of thing. So didn't really set it up pulling this, but it is pretty straightforward. Again, if you got a manual, it's really, really easy to follow. It's not bad at all to get this out. So yeah, if you guys have questions or anything on it, I'll do my best to help you guys out, but it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple process, to be honest. Didn't take long at all. So anyway, I'm going to end this here, and yeah, we'll cut to another video. Probably, I don't know if I'll show the process. Like, I'm gonna power wash all this crap up, get it all cleaned. I'll probably do a video putting this new fuel pump in. I'll do a video on the rear drive, pulling it off. I think I can get it out with it in here. I think there's plenty of room there to get it off. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, getting this all cleaned up. And then I'll let you guys know what I decide with this oil. If I start mixing it in the tank or what direction we go there. I will be replacing the fuel filter, again, pulling the electric one off, going back to the vacuum. And then I will definitely do a video on the engine, the rebuild, the seals, and the primary drive up front. And then we'll, yeah, get all that reinstalled. And like I said, I've got the back half off. I need to pull the front half. I'm gonna get those all painted and cleaned up. And yeah, we'll be hopefully putting this thing back together, and hopefully it'll be like new. It's the goal. So anyway, catch you all on the next one. Thanks for watching.